Hello, Army. Lights down, curiosity up, because this is not just another celebrity admiration story. This feels more like a whispered Hollywood confession that somehow escaped into the spotlight. Imagine a global icon, a woman whose face has defined strength, elegance, and cinematic magnetism for over a decade, quietly observing 7 men from the other side of the world.
No scripts, no PR filters.
Just instinct, presence, and that unexplainable pull called charisma. When Scarlett Johansson, yes, that's Scarlett, was asked about BTS, nobody expected what followed. Not a generic compliment, not a safe answer, but a surprisingly specific emotional reaction to each member's aura. And here's the twist. This list isn't about abs, angles, or viral photos. It's about energy, about how a man walks into a room, carries silence, handles pressure, and leaves a trace without trying. Why does one smile feel like home while another feels like danger? Why does confidence sometimes whisper instead of shout? And how can someone be devastatingly handsome without even realizing it? As we count down, the order matters, but not in the way you think. Some placements will make perfect sense. Others might stop you mid-thought. One member rises not because he wants to be seen, but because he can't be ignored. Another shocks everyone by redefining what handsome even means. And the number 1 spot? Let's just say it's not who the internet usually bets on. So stay sharp, stay curious, and don't blink, because once this list starts rolling, you'll realize this isn't about beauty rankings at all. It's about why certain people feel unforgettable, even from thousands of miles away. Number 7. Taehyung, the beautiful enigma that hits you last. At number 7, Scarlett Johansson's pick might shock fans who are used to seeing Taehyung dominate visuals lists worldwide. But here's the thing, this placement isn't a downgrade, it's a nuance. Taehyung's handsomeness is obvious, almost too obvious. It's the kind that enters the room before he does. Perfect facial symmetry, deep soulful eyes, and that old soul aura that feels like a vintage film reel playing in slow motion. For Scarlett, that kind of beauty doesn't immediately scream, it lingers. Taehyung represents a cinematic type of attractiveness, the kind that feels like a character written to be admired from afar. His elegance, his baritone voice, his effortless fashion sense, and his emotional depth as an artist all combine into a presence that feels curated, almost myth-like. But what places him at number 7 is precisely that distance. Scarlett is drawn to authenticity that feels raw and unguarded, and Taehyung's beauty sometimes feels so polished it becomes untouchable. He's mesmerizing, yes, but in a way that feels like watching a masterpiece behind museum glass. His charm grows over time, revealing layers of vulnerability, artistic curiosity, and quiet rebellion, but it asks for patience. And that's powerful in its own way. Taehyung doesn't chase attention. Attention finds him. His handsomeness isn't about trying. It's about existing exactly as he is. For Scarlett, that kind of beauty isn't loud enough to hit first, but it's unforgettable once it settles in your chest. Number 6. Jimin, the soft power that disarms you instantly. Sliding into number 6 is Jimin, and this is where Scarlett Johansson's list starts to feel deeply psychological rather than visual. Jimin's handsomeness doesn't announce itself. It approaches gently, almost apologetically, then completely takes over before you realize what's happening. His face carries an unusual duality, delicate, almost angelic features paired with an intensity that shows up the moment he performs or locks eyes with the camera. Scarlett is famously drawn to characters who weaponize softness, and Jimin does exactly that. He uses vulnerability as strength. His body language is open, expressive, emotionally readable, which creates a sense of trust and intimacy that feels rare in global superstars. When Jimin moves, there's intention. Every gesture feels like a conversation rather than a display. That's why his beauty feels emotional before it feels physical. His background as a contemporary dancer shows in the way he holds himself, fluid, controlled, and deeply aware of space. For Scarlett, that awareness reads as emotional intelligence, a trait far more attractive than surface-level perfection. Jimin's smile can melt tension, but his serious gaze carries weight. hinting at discipline, self-doubt, and relentless self-improvement. He's the kind of handsome that makes you lean in, not step back. And while his charm is undeniable, it's also exhausting in a quiet way, because it makes you feel things. That emotional pull is powerful, but it's also why he lands at number 6. Jimin doesn't just catch your eye, he occupies your heart, and that kind of beauty takes time to process. Number 5, RM, the intellectual gravity you can't escape. At number 5, Scarlett Johansson's list takes a sharp turn towards something far deeper than surface appeal, landing on RM, the kind of man whose handsomeness doesn't live in his face alone, but in the space between his words. RM's attractiveness begins the moment he speaks. His calm tone, deliberate pauses, and thoughtful articulation create an aura of authority without arrogance. Scarlett has portrayed some of the most complex, introspective characters in modern cinema, and RM mirrors that same internal depth in real life. He carries himself like someone who has spent years questioning the world, absorbing it, and then quietly choosing his own path. Physically, RM has a strong, grounding presence, tall, broad-shouldered, and increasingly confident in his own skin. But what elevates him is the way intelligence shapes his charisma. His leadership within BTS isn't loud or forceful. It's reflective, steady, and emotionally responsible. For Scarlett, that kind of masculinity is profoundly attractive. RM feels like a man you could have a 3-hour conversation with at 2 a.m. and walk away changed. His handsomeness grows when you notice how he listens, how he respects silence, and how he acknowledges uncertainty without losing control. He's not trying to impress, he's trying to understand. That intellectual gravity pulls people in slowly, but powerfully. RM ranks at number 5 because his beauty isn't instant, it unfolds. And once it does, it leaves an imprint that feels thoughtful, grounding, and unexpectedly romantic. Number 4, Jungkook, the dangerous all-rounder effect. Landing at number 4 is Jungkook, and this is where Scarlett Johansson's list starts to feel undeniably intense. Jungkook's handsomeness is the kind that sneaks up on you and then refuses to let go. At first glance, he looks like the classic golden boy, athletic build, sharp jawline, expressive eyes, but that's just the surface. What really elevates Jungkook is his relentless drive. Scarlett has always been fascinated by characters who are constantly becoming, never satisfied, and Jungkook embodies that energy in real life. He's a perfectionist in motion. Every performance, every vocal run, every physical movement carries evidence of discipline and obsession with growth. That hunger reads as dangerously attractive. His confidence doesn't feel rehearsed. It feels earned through sweat and self-doubt. There's also something quietly rebellious about him. The tattoos, the intense focus, the way he zones out from the world when he's locked into his craft. For Scarlett, that signals depth beneath the charm. Jungkook feels like someone who could be playful and warm one moment, then completely unreachable the next, consumed by his inner world. That contrast creates tension, and tension is magnetic. His handsomeness isn't just visual, it's kinetic. You feel it when he moves, when he stares into the camera without blinking, when he smiles like he's surprised by his own emotions. He ranks at number 4 not because he lacks impact, but because his intensity can be overwhelming. Jungkook doesn't just enter a room. He charges it with energy, and not everyone is ready to handle that kind of presence for long. Number 3, Jin, the effortless confidence that feels like home. Taking the number 3 spot is Jin, and this is where Scarlett Johansson's perspective becomes quietly profound. Jin's handsomeness isn't aggressive, mysterious, or overwhelming. It's reassuring. It's the kind that settles into you slowly, like a familiar song you didn't realize you loved until it was gone. Physically, Jin fits the classic leading man mold. Broad shoulders, balanced features, and a face that somehow manages to look regal and approachable at the same time. But what truly locks him into this position is his emotional intelligence wrapped in humor. Scarlett has often spoken about strength expressed through warmth, and Jin masters that balance effortlessly. He disarms people with jokes, self-awareness, and an almost deliberate refusal to take himself too seriously, despite clearly knowing his own worth. That confidence, quiet, unshaken, uncompetitive, is deeply attractive. Jin feels like someone who knows exactly who he is, not because he chased validation, but because he outgrew the need for it. His background, his steady vocal presence, and his role as an emotional anchor within BTS all feed into this aura of stability. He doesn't demand attention. He creates comfort. And comfort, when paired with self-assured charm, becomes irresistible. Scarlett is drawn to men who feel safe without feeling boring, and Jin hits that sweet spot perfectly. His handsomeness is human, lived in, and sincere. He's the type you trust instinctively, the type whose presence lowers your guard. That's why he stands strong at number 3, because sometimes the most powerful attractiveness isn't the one that dazzles instantly, but the one that makes you stay. Number 2, Suga, the silent intensity that cuts deep. At number 2, Scarlett Johansson's choice turns sharply inward, landing on Suga, a man whose handsomeness doesn't seek attention, but commands it through restraint. Suga's appeal is built on contrast. On the surface, he's quiet, reserved, almost distant. But beneath that calm exterior is a mind constantly working, analyzing, creating, questioning. Scarlett has played characters who say more with a glance than a monologue, and Suga operates in that exact same space. His gaze carries weight. It's observant, unflinching, and unapologetically honest. Physically, he's not the loudest presence in the room, but his posture, his stillness, and his deliberate movements create a tension that's impossible to ignore. His background as a producer and lyricist adds another layer. This is a man who understands pain, ambition, failure, and success at an intimate level. That depth translates into a quiet confidence that feels real, not performative. For Scarlett, that kind of authenticity is magnetic. Suga doesn't try to be charming. He is compelling by simply being himself. His blunt honesty, dry humor, and refusal to sugarcoat reality give him an edge that feels mature and grounded. He's the kind of handsome that reveals itself late at night, in deep conversations, in moments of shared silence, where words feel unnecessary. That emotional gravity pulls you closer the more you try to understand him. He ranks at number 2 because his presence lingers. Long after the room empties, Suga's energy stays behind. Heavy, thoughtful, and unforgettable. Number 1, Jhope, the unexpected light that changes everything. And here we are. Number 1. The spot everyone argues about, predicts, overthinks, and almost always gets wrong. Scarlett Johansson's most handsome BTS member isn't the darkest, the most dangerous, or the most traditionally cinematic. It's Jhope. And once you really understand why, it suddenly feels inevitable. Jhope's handsomeness doesn't walk into a room quietly. It radiates. It reshapes the mood, lifts the temperature, and alters how people breathe. Scarlett's career has been built on portraying strength through emotional truth, and Jhope embodies that in real life. His smile isn't decorative, it's intentional. It's the result of resilience, discipline, and a conscious choice to carry hope even when the pressure is crushing. Physically, he's striking in a way that defies fixed standards. Sharp features softened by warmth, expressive eyes that communicate before words arrive, and a posture that speaks of absolute control over his body. As a dancer, Jhope understands presence at a cellular level. Every movement is precise, confident, and alive. That mastery creates a magnetism that feels joyful rather than intimidating. And that joy, that's the key. Scarlett is drawn to men who don't perform masculinity as distance or dominance, but as emotional clarity. Jhope is fearless in his positivity, unapologetic in his passion, and grounded in self-awareness. Behind the brightness is a relentless work ethic, a sharp musical mind, and leadership that motivates without pressure. He's attractive because he makes others feel more alive just by being near them. That kind of impact is rare. Jhope doesn't just look handsome. He feels transformative. He's the man who reminds you that confidence can be kind, power can smile, and strength doesn't have to be heavy. That's why he takes number 1. Not because he demands attention, but because once he's there, everything else fades into the background.